So let me walk you through the stuff I take out on the water, how I rig my boat, and then let me show you some of the other accessories that you saw on the DVD. All right, so first thing I won't leave home without is a sunscreen, a good sunblock, and obviously a PFD. And I would say right up front to you guys, don't put it in the back like the hot dogs do. Wear it, and wear one that fits so it's nice and snug and won't just go up to here if you fell in the water, which you probably won't. Hobie's PFD has a couple pockets in it that I like, and secured my knife right to the PFD and stuck it in this pocket. I've got a hook sharpener that I throw in this pocket, and again, don't just take it out, wear it. The other thing I bring is a Hobie fish gripper. It grips the lip of the fish, so your hands aren't pulling scales off. You're not going to mess the fish up. Grip it, boom, release. You haven't even touched the fish, yet you had a secure grip on the fish with this to remove the hook. The other thing, to get that hook out, I bring a pair of pliers. They're secured to the boat just as my rod is secured to the boat, in case I get excited and I throw it overboard. All right, the other thing, water, super important. Hobie has water bottles, fit right on the boat, perfect. And a dry bag. And in the dry bag, I'll put some extra clothes, like, for example, a splash top like this from Hobie. And I'll go out like this, throw this on when the wind comes up or what have you. The other thing I like to put in here are power bars. Very cool. Have that. So roll this up a couple times, secure it, and throw it behind the seat. And the Hobie live well and bait tank, fantastic. You can actually dial in the level of the amount of water you want to put in it. Easily opens. Some guys use a little net that they store right here to pull fish out, pull the bait out. I just reach in and just gently put my hand in there, and you'll end up finding a fish coming by that'll just touch your hand, gently grab it, and you're in good shape. You want to keep scales on it and that type of thing. This thing is big enough that it will keep your bait fresh all day, and you can use it as a live well if you're a tournament fisherman. Seat, love it. It's got a lumbar support, fantastic. The seat that comes with your boat is just fine, it's padded. But Hobie makes a comfort seat that's inflatable, fantastic. All right, the electronics I bring out are by Lowrance, the fish finder, GPS. Love to know where structure is. I'm curious, I like to know about water temperature. And the GPS right by the steering mechanism allows me to take that thumb and go boom, 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 and mark spots where there's structure, knowing I can always get back to it. All right, let me show you a few other things. You've got your paddle right here. You've got a paddle leash, very important. I've gotten excited about fishing and dropped a few paddles in my day. But then you also have a T-handle. So when you pull this paddle apart, you have half the paddle and a T-handle, and now you have like a canoe paddle. Some guys like that. I use this one. Other guys use this and will just back off a dock or what have you. And below it, the Hobie anchor trolley allows you to deploy and retrieve the anchor. You saw Hank and all of us using it very effectively on the French Broad. So you've got the anchor, you've got a drift chute. This is fantastic on a windy day. Just slow the drift down, slow that boat down. And then you have a stakeout pole, and it's really handy if you're in mud, a sandy bottom, and especially if you're flats fishing. You can stick this in the sand, put this on the anchor trolley, walk away from your boat and go fish, and the boat will be right there when you get back. So in the Corsica footage, you saw one of our guys using a sail. Very cool to have. You can store it right opposite the paddle, bungees right to the boat. At the end of a really long day, where Mike and I will go 3, 4, 5 miles up the coast, I'll throw the sail in. The sail goes right here. You step the mast right there, and you sail home, no effort, and you're like a weekend sailor, very comfortable. And then you have the Hobie Sidekick. You saw that in conjunction with the sail in Corsica, but a lot of guys use a Sidekick. That's what these are. They're inflatable. they end up on a bar right behind your seat, right here. And look at all of that extra stability that you're gonna get. So the guys that I see use these most are the ones that want to stand up, fly fishermen, some sight casting, and the boat is super stable. All right, when you're not using it, they deflate and they will fit right in this forward hatch. Here are the standard wheels, great on you know, a parking lot, pavement, what have you. I use these a lot because we're here in Southern California. We launch off beaches a lot. So here's obviously a pneumatic tire, and it's a good beach wheel. Goes over the sand very easily. So there are a couple options there. Let me show you a Hobie cooler. Great for soft drinks, great for lunch, long day on the water, gotta feed yourself. Everything I take on the boat, all this gear, lip gripper, pliers, electronics, rod holders, fits in the Hobie backpack. So I take this out of the car, boom, take the boat down to the beach. Everything I need is right here. And I take the empty backpack, throw it down below, store it down below for the day. When I'm taking a longer trip, I use the Hobie bag with the wheels on it, so then I can just check this on the airline. All the clothes, everything I need. In fact, I threw a couple underwater cameras in here, as you saw, and in the DVD, and jump on the airline. A safety device I almost overlooked. Hobie has 3 that I know of different compasses. So cool to have. Out off our coast, we have days when the fog will come rolling in. I can glance at this and go, home's that way. Just great to have, a little safety device. All right, let's talk about the rudder and the Mirage Drive. Show you what I use. All right. On the Mirage Drive, you have the turbo fins, and you have the standard. See the size difference? So you're gonna grab a little more water with this, a little more power. Some guys, about 10%, they think, a little more speed. But I just like the feel of this. I like the positive feel of this. So there's an option. Turbo kit, standard. Then on the rudder, look at this. You have the standard rudder, watch this, and then you have the larger rudder. This I love. It is so responsive. I can turn this boat pretty much in its own length, just very responsive. Nothing wrong with this. I've used it for years. Here's an option that you should look at. All right, let me show you a safety flag that you saw. Where were we? Off the west coast of Baja on the mothership trip on the Qualifier 105. This is a flag that you put on the stern of the boat. There's a bracket for it. And what you will then find is that when you're in swells, you will be able to see this kayak. Boaters can see it, your fellow kayakers can see it. They'll always know where you are because this flag is back there, and it doesn't disturb anything as far as fishing. The other safety item that I put in this forward hatch is a Hobie first aid kit. Yeah, there are over 30 items in this thing. There's a signaling mirror, there's a waterproof flashlight, you've got a solar blanket, lots of bandages and Band-Aids and the stuff when I nick myself with a hook. Love it. Stick it up forward and you know it's there and it's good to have. All right, let me show you where I store some tackle handy right here in front of me. This tray has just plastics in it, as you can see, but this holds 2 more trays, and I'll have like bait fish gear in this one, and I can just switch out the trays during the day, just like that. I'm kind of a baby. I get cold out in the water, so I wear a full Hobie wetsuit. Sometimes I'll just stick it in the dry bag so I know I've got it. It also comes in a shorty, but good to have. And then booties. And when you buy booties, check the bottoms. Make sure it's got the right sole for the conditions you're going to be fishing in. So if it's a real rocky and bottom, you'll want a good heavy sole. And it comes in different weights for warmth. All right, that's about it. I've shown you most all the gear that you saw during the Hobie DVD. You can go to the Hobie website, and frankly, the explanation that they wrote next to each of these items is probably more thorough than I just explained. But have a good time on the water, stay safe, and I hope I get to fish with you soon.